back-to-back games are kind of special, aren't they? In terms of, like, they'd be the ones you pick out maybe even from the start of the season, aren't they?
Yeah, like you just if there's so many over the years where there's been such a difference in the scores week to week, and that's the unique challenge of playing the same team back to back. So, and it really is like it's the classic, like it's on the day, you know. So you've seen so many of those over the course of the tournament, and yeah, it's a unique challenge. You know, Northampton, a team we've actually played in this back to back. Where we've gone over there, had a big win, and come back to the Aviva the following week and got beaten. So. You know, it's you know, it's not just something like people are just saying these things for the sake of it. It's a real challenge. So, yeah, Northampton have been going incredibly well this year. You know, because they've had a change of coaches, and it's brought something completely new to their team, the dynamic, and obviously Chris Boyd, who's a ton of experience coming from Super Rugby, very successful environment in the Hurricanes as well. Obviously they went on to win the Super title, and the experience that he's brought with some other younger English coaches there in particular. Sam Vesti, I know from my time in Leicester Tigers, very creative mind. Phil Dowson with the forwards as well. Matt Fagerson who does the scrum as well, so some younger English coaches there, and that's very much the sort of the theme of their playing group as well. They've got some lot of top end experience. You know, if you think, you know, the halfbacks, Dan Bigger, his experience with Wales and Northern Hemisphere rugby, Cobus Reinach, you know, South African international, was away with South Africa at the World Cup. You know, for their forwards, the Franks brothers who've won a World Cup with New Zealand, or World Cups plural with New Zealand. You know, Naravoro on the wing, Matt Proctor they've signed as well, and then they've lots of good young players as well. So that have come through the system in Northampton. You know, and credit to them for, I guess, for backing a lot of young players that they have. And you know, even at the weekend, they had 3 guys that pulled out against Leicester. Owen Franks, Dan Bigger and Courtney Laws, and they're replaced with, you know, young players. Painter, 22-year-old tight head. There's Moon again, second row, 22 years of age, and Grayson, who's 21, 22 as well. So that's, you know, you get the sense that they have a lot of trust in the young players that they have there, and yep, it's going to make a fascinating battle. You know, because in many ways it's similar to what we try to do, and backing a lot of our younger guys, given when the opportunities arise. So yeah, it's a game that we're all looking forward to now, or games, plural.
And after, obviously, the internationals, a lot of them were rested for the game last weekend, do you think even more now, they have spent more time together, and there'll be, you know, the more of Leinster will show for these back-to-back games, that they've spent more time in the camp? Yeah, well, that's the hope, at least, anyway. You know, like another week training makes the difference. We would hope. You know, we'll wait and see in terms of the performance piece of the weekend, but yeah, definitely, like the guys are becoming more comfortable in around the environment, what we're trying to do, just little subtle tweaks here and there, just making sure that we're all on the same page. You know, obviously the guys that have been here all the way through have been excellent, really. Like, you couldn't fault any of our guys. You know, very committed in terms of their, you know, how they apply themselves in the week, but incredibly committed on the weekends as well, in terms of what their, you know, the physical effort they're prepared to put in. So, you know, the attitude of all the internationals has been top class as well, coming back in, but it's making sure that we're all on the same page so we can produce a cohesive performance, because, you know, I think we're just a little bit off in the first 2 European games in particular. Treviso, we've a number of guys come back in for the first Leinster game of the season, which, you know, it's always going to be a challenge, that even away in Lyon, you know, just little things where we don't quite fire, particularly with our attacks. So yeah, hopefully an extra week together will make us that a little bit better. On the flip side though, the defensive performance, especially in Lyon, was pretty good. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, like you know, we were a little bit off probably defensively against Treviso. I thought much better effort against Lyon. You know, we probably have to ask ourselves a question like, why are we, you know, only, you know, roughly 45% possession versus 55% that Lyon have? And it was very similar against Glasgow even at the weekend. So where, you know, Glasgow, we're having to defend a lot, so, you know, that's not the ideal picture for us. We'd rather be able to impose our own game more on the opposition. So
having said that, I thought the guys weathered the storms in both those games. Particularly the 2 times where we go down to yellow cards. Obviously, Leon, Jordan makes a call. The ball, is it out? It's it's what the referee decides anyway. So, we put ourselves under a little bit of pressure with that decision. Hence, we're defending with 14 men. Same at the weekend. Again, Hugo Keenan's very unlucky because the ball probably just bounces behind the Glasgow player. But anyway, Hugo then thinks he's catching it, so he's about to make a tackle, so he's anticipating, but then the ball bounces that way. So. Again, a little bit unlucky maybe to lose him to the bin, but again, how the players, we dig in, weather ourselves through that bit of a storm, and on we go. So, but yeah, that's the way the game is. Like you see, there's lots of cards in games at the moment. Overall, I think we can definitely get better in terms of how we impose our attack on the opposition.
The team that beat Glasgow has been described as a shadow team. How would you describe it?
I think a very committed team. I think that's the most important piece. Guys that are hungry to kick on and play on the biggest stage for Leinster. So you could see they put in a lot of effort over the course of the season, come back early, the blocks that we have, and everyone's committed to the programme fully. So that's the most pleasing piece. And when they get their windows, they want to showcase what they can do. So even like in the league, we played over in Glasgow a couple of years ago where we didn't have a great day, and I think that a lot of those players actually played again, 2 years on. I thought it was a positive step in a lot of guys' development. And everyone wants to play in all the big games now. So there's a real closeness, and there's a very competitive group here we have at the moment, thankfully.
Leo, just with you mentioned back-to-back European games coming up, big full 14 games over the Christmas period and into January. Is this a time of year that you really look forward to, or is it a little bit daunting in a sense? So many big games so quickly together.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, I think. There's the rhythm of the games which you enjoy because they keep coming. It is it's daunting when you look at the block at the early stages, but once you're in it, and we're very much in the thick of it now. So what do we of this 13 game block? 6 down and 7 to go, I think, isn't it? Yeah, so we've 4 European games and the 3 in a Pros sandwiched in between. So the tricky piece is probably, what we've spent a lot of time in terms of discussing and planning is how do we integrate some of the international guys back in. So now that they're actually back in, hopefully we'll try and see some improvements with them being back. We want to manage some of those international guys during those in the Pros as well, and that's just something from a national planning perspective that's we're very conscious of as well. So guys are fit, fresh, able to fire for the Six Nations, and you look on, there's a summer tour in July as well to look forward to. So and that's just the nature of the season, the way it is. But not everyone's going to be able to play every game. We're going to have to chop and change guys at different stages. But yeah, it's always a challenging block because there's lots of bits going on, and it's whatever about the players because they get chopped and changed. For the staff, there's less chopping and changing. So for the staff, it's actually pretty full on, the block. But that's that we're so lucky with the group of staff that we have here that they, from a rugby coach's point of view, but it's really the backroom team I'm thinking of, in terms of our strength and conditioning and medics, physios, the care that they look after the players, and it's almost like who's looking after those guys at the moment. So it's because it's a great time of year. It's very much family time of year, but we've to spend a lot of time together, which takes us away from family. So has its challenges, but that's all part and parcel of what the entertainment industry is. I'm sure you know yourself.